Hi, my name is Ren, and today's video is going to be life updates, so basically talking about my life since I posted my last video, my goals from last year, and my future goals for life, reading, and this channel. I hope you're ready to sit down with me and have a little chat about things that have been going on. So grab a snack or whatever and, just chill out while you watch me chat a little bit. Some of the stuff that I talk about in this video is very hard to discuss and can be triggering for some people, so I am going to be mentioning hospitalization, specifically mental health hospitalization. If that sort of thing triggers you in any way, I would avoid this video. Why am I so orange? I remember I made my last video on this channel about, I don't know, like over a year ago. The fact that I haven't made a video for another year, as I didn't make a video for over 2 years. I made like 2 videos in 2023, like the very beginning of 2023. In February, my contract wasn't renewed for my job. Yeah, that happened. It sucked, but I ended up finding a job in April where I would train in Toronto for a month, room and board paid. Basically, I would only have to pay for transportation and food, which was transportation in Toronto, but travel to and from Toronto was covered. So I trained for that job in the month of April to like early May-ish, and then came back and then I got let go from that job in July of 2023. Pretty much what happened was I didn't end up sleeping for like from Friday night to around like Sunday night-ish. So that was like really hard and it put a lot of strain on my mental health, and so I ended up in the hospital, and I stayed there for about a month in the hospital in around August. It felt like, I don't know, that I was a failure and that I was, but also one thing that I was really looking forward to during this whole period when I was in the hospital due to mental health issues was I had planned a trip to England with my fiance, and I was discharged from the hospital in September. It was like the weekend before we were supposed to go on this trip. I went on the trip. I honestly, upon retrospect, I wish I had stayed in the hospital instead of going on that trip, because maybe things would be different now. But I made the decision to go on this cross-Atlantic trip with my fiance to England, and we went to London and Sheffield, and it was mostly a great time, but I could really feel myself getting more and more sick mental health wise. I started getting in fights with my partner. It was not the greatest time close to the end of the trip. A couple of days after we came back home, I ended up in the hospital again for another month. I wasn't immediately placed in the mental health section of the hospital. I was placed in a different floor, which was scary, especially with having delusions and thinking about certain things that were not healthy or positive things to think about. It was kind of a freaky experience. And then I got a spot in the mental health section of the hospital a week or so after I've been in the hospital. I my fiance and I called off our engagement, which was kind of a blow in the couple of times we'd interacted. Since I was hospitalized then, we're not good. He's no longer my fiance, and it hurts because we were together for 11 years. We've known each other for 12. I lost my best friend and his family as well, and he had quite a large family, and they're very welcoming and loving to me. Yeah. That happened in October. While still being hospitalized, I moved back to my parents' place, into my high school bedroom. I got out of the hospital in early November and had made also a friend in the hospital who we were different ages, but we had sort of similar but not similar circumstances happen to us. He passed away not long after he was discharged, so it really kind of hit me hard. But I'm currently trying to take things day by day, week by week. I'm trying to look for a job so I can get by. My parents are not charging me rent or anything, which I'm grateful for. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I have regrets and things that I can't really take back, but that's basically what has happened in the last few months. Yeah. I'm still here, which I'm glad that I am, and that nothing worse happened during my England trip. Now let's go over some of the goals from last year. I'll definitely put like a link somewhere. I went through the stats from the previous year and some of the goals. Some of the goals I made were to read 40 books, and I ended up reading 38 books in total, which is very close to the final total, which was pretty good considering the year I had. One of my other goals was to read the physical owned TBR books, and that I pretty much did that. I still have a big physical TBR, but I'm working through it and everything like that. My next goal was to reread the Twilight Saga. I'm still on Eclipse, but I'm planning on getting to finish the series this year. One of my goals was to read every day, which didn't really happen. I kind of don't want to force myself to read when I don't really want to, so that type of goal is definitely gonna change. And my last goal, which I obviously didn't achieve, was being more active on YouTube, which didn't really happen. Here are some life goals that I'm planning on doing throughout the year. My first one is to find a part-time job, which I'm working on. Perhaps if I do achieve this goal, then I might start looking for an apartment. But we'll see how things go. Looking for an apartment is kind of like a tentative, like maybe goal. My second goal would be to make more time for family and friends. Live with my family now, and I also want to write in my journal more. They say writing in your journal helps with your mental health and helps get your thoughts down, both positive and negative, so I definitely want to do that more. And also just like keep a record, because sometimes I like totally space on what I've done like the previous week or whatever. My last life goal is to declutter my clothes and some other things in my array of stuff. Maybe I'll make that a video, because people like decluttering videos and cleaning videos, I don't know. I also want to make a future video on, because I got some prints that I want to put up, that could be a good video to make. So some of my channel related goals are going to be, I want to get to, I probably won't achieve this this year, but hopefully soon, but I want to get to 500 subscribers at least. I also want to revamp my Ko-fi, just like sort of like a Patreon site. It's similar to Patreon, so I want to revamp that and get that going. I want to hopefully post at least once per month. I can do it more, or if like I post like more videos 1 month or whatever, like I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself, because I put too much pressure on myself, then I just like crumble and not do it. But yeah, so now to some of the goals that you guys probably care about. Some of my reading goals for this year. I want to read at least 50 books in the year. I hope to hopefully achieve this goal. I think I have like 27, 28 books read so far. I've been reading a lot of manga and graphic novels, so that has really bumped up the amount of books read. My next goal is I want to keep reading my physical TBR, kind of whittle that down. And I also have a new goal that I want to achieve, is reading more audiobooks. This could be books that are already on my shelves or new to me books. And yeah, so basically that is everything that I wanted to talk about today in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, even though it's like very, very late to making this video, I hope you had a good time watching it, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. So yeah, hopefully I'll be making more book related content in the future, which you can enjoy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again, and have a great evening, or day, or whatever time it is where you are. Okay, bye bye.